A heaven of diamonds shine down through the night. Two hearts are thrilling in spite of the chill in the weather.
Fox 2 presents Holiday on Ice, brought to you by ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale. By Art Band, we do more for you. By English Gardens, a different reason for every season. By the Fox Theater, see the Radio City Christmas Spectacular starring the Rockettes. And by the Cook Champagne Todd Eldredge and Friends, performing December 8th at the Palace.
Good evening and welcome to Holiday on Ice. I'm Dan Miller. With the Winter Olympics quickly approaching, the international skating competition has become one of the most exciting events in recent years. Competitors like Michelle Kwan, Tara Lipinski, Elvis Stoico, and Todd Eldredge have become household names. We here in Michigan are very lucky. We claim 4 national champions and some up-and-comers as well. Tara Lipinski, the youngest ever female champion, Elizabeth Punsalan and Jerod Swallow, pairs dance champions, and Todd Eldredge, the 4-time U.S. men's champion, all train at the Detroit Skating Club in Bloomfield Hills. Tonight, we take you behind the scenes for an in-depth look at these unique Michigan skating stars, beginning with U.S. men's figure skating champion, Todd Eldredge.
Bring it on!
In 1990, Todd Eldredge became the youngest U.S. men's champion in 24 years. Today, he is a top contender for the men's U.S. Olympic figure skating team. Despite his success, he remains understated.
My style of skating is, I would say, more along the lines, not so much the flashy, where the full sequined outfits and all that stuff. I don't get into that. I stay pretty much plain and just more sophisticated looking. And, the music that I choose also with my programs, it has that kind of powerful and passionate feeling to it. And I feel that that really suits my style.
Todd is very organized, very driven. He loves to skate, and he wants to win.
Winning is something that Coach Richard Callahan knows well. In 15 years, Eldredge and Callahan have won over a dozen competitions. It's a relationship that's lasted longer than most in amateur figure skating.
It works. Basically the relationship that he and I have as far as working on the ice, it's worked for so many years.
I taught Todd since he was 10 years old. So basically I have taught him to skate in various jumps and spins right from the beginning. So I did teach him at the beginning. Right now, basically, it's training and training decisions and probably just getting him psyched for his events.
Well, I think he really, demands the best from all his skaters. He doesn't settle for anything less than what he knows they can do. He pushes you, obviously. If any good coach is going to push somebody to try and do more than they can. And eventually what happens is you realize that you can do more. And I think that's, one of the biggest things for him as far as, being a good coach. He really pushes you and makes you do things that you don't think you could do, and then you realize when you do them that you could do them, and then you just take it to the next level.
I think it's important to put the highs and lows in perspective, all right, not get carried away or not get too depressed. I think it's important for the skaters to be very well trained when they go to their various events. So everything is kind of reactionary. They just they perform as they practice.
He and I work so well together, and we've had so much success that you don't mess with that, really. You just kind of go with it and try and build on it, and hopefully hopefully that success will end with something good in February.
Just a few months away, it's the one major title that Eldredge does not claim, the Olympic gold.
Really, for anybody in figure skating, the Olympics is, the ultimate goal for everybody, I think. winning the Olympics. The World Championships obviously is a goal. The national championships are obviously goals. The Olympics only coming around once every 4 years makes it that much more important, I think. I think the men's competition is pretty tough, actually. You've got probably, I'm going to say, 5 guys at least, who are going out there. I mean, I think last year at the World Championships, there were maybe 11 guys that did triple axel, triple toes in their short programs and skated clean. So, I mean, that's unbelievable. That's almost unheard of. And, over the past however many years, you would never hear that. And I think with the Olympic year coming up, a lot of people are gearing in and trying to, get things nailed down. And, I mean, you look at Elvis and myself and Ilya and Alexei Romanov, if he's okay, who knows, and even Alexei Yagudin. I mean, all those guys are skating really well. So it's going to be an interesting year, and it's going to be, an interesting competition at the Olympics.
One skater paying very close attention will be Todd's friend and training partner, U.S. Women's Olympic hopeful Tara Lipinski.
He was like my idol, and I watched him on TV, and at the time I wasn't going to Worlds, so he was going to Worlds, he was, going to Olympics. I was like, wow, isn't this cool? And I think training here gave me a lot of motivation from watching him.
I would have to say one of my biggest strengths would have to be my mental toughness when I get out on the ice for competition. At Skate America, I suffered my shoulder in the warm-up, but and that makes it hurt a little bit. And that was tough. But when I got on the ice, I knew that I had trained pretty well before the championships, and I was in pretty good shape. So when I got out there, I said, okay, if it, I was kind of looking at it, if it hurts too much, then obviously I'm going to have to stop, somewhere along the way. I started doing okay, and it wasn't the fact that it was, it was killing me and I couldn't do anything. It was hurting, but I was still just like, okay, let's go through it. Let's forget about the arm, and this is your last year and your 9th Skate America and your last Skate America, so let's make it a good one.
Eldredge went on to win Skate America just a few weeks ago. He's also decided to leave the amateur ranks, so this February will be his last chance for an Olympic gold medal.
I think that, if I win it, that's great, and then that ends my career on, an incredible note and such a high. If I don't, if I come second, I come third, I come fourth, whatever, I'll have to be content with that. It's obviously not what I wanted to do, but, if it ends up that way, that's the way it is, and I move on and try and, do something with a professional circuit and have a great professional career regardless of an Olympic medal, because I've had a great amateur career even before that.
Play on Ice continues after this.
Elizabeth Punsalan and Jerod Swallow are partners both on and off the ice. Now, maybe I better explain that. You see, not only are they national ice dance champions, but they're happily married as well. Here's a closer look.
When I first saw Jerod, actually, it was at a regional competition in at my local arena. I was 12 years old at the time.
We were both doing dance with separate partners and living in Colorado. Our partners retired, and Liz and I paired up.
After Jerod and I paired up skating together, we spent a lot more time together and became such good friends that it just sort of happened naturally.
All of our friends kept saying, well, you two are in love, you're in love, you're in love. And we kept denying it all the time. But they could see how well we got on and how well we worked together and what great friends we were.
I know there's magic whenever you're around me. So much it makes me wanna see.
Everything you see on the ice emotionally between Liz and I is real, obviously, because of the feelings we have for one another. And there's always a little acting involved with ice dancers, but if you're married and love, those emotions are real. And we do depend on a lot of acting as well. If you're portraying a certain character, then obviously you develop that character.
Just like you.
Our style of ice dancing, I think, is something that we've developed really in the last 4 or 5 years, and Igor and our coach Liz have helped us develop it.
That was a lot better. I think Liz and Jerod, over the years, they become very passionate for skating, and on the ice they can really relate to each other, and they show it in every move they do, and I think that's what's so special about them.
I know there's magic whenever you're around me.
Our style it's a fresh, dynamic, fast, energetic, youthful kind of style, if I can use all those adjectives.
What they have right now, it's very exceptional quality of the skating, which made them one of the best couples in the world. So, and on this foundation, we're trying to build.
Igor is really our organizer. He keeps us on a training schedule, disciplined, motivated. And what I've noticed over the years that's especially helpful is that he gives us a reason for doing what we are doing on the ice, a reason for the training, a reason for certain arm moves or a certain mood or a certain look. And that really makes it easier to come in every day, to bring it out something that's inside you, to bring it across to the audience.
He does have a way of bringing his couples up to a higher level of performance, and he knows how to train you. He knows what to say to make you skate up, if you will. And this is definitely part of his success as a coach and part of our success.
And they have enjoyed great success recently. They've finished first in the U.S. National Championships the last 2 years, but it's a road not easily traveled.
It's been a hard climb for Liz and I the last 8 years to get back up to the world competitive level.
Ice dancing tends to be very political because it's such a subjective sport. We're not out there landing triple jumps, and there's nothing really that the general audience can tell the difficulty between the teams. So it is very political, and it's hard to make big moves fast in the ice dancing world. So we're just going to give it the best shot that we can.
It's like a diamond ring, it's a precious thing, and we never want to lose it.
For me, they're what I want to be when we get up to that level, because they're really impacting the dance world in the United States and everywhere.
I think all of Igor's teams, well, not all of them, but most of them look up to them, and I mean, see them as the number one, and you want to be like them, and it's just something to work for.
They come to us for advice, and it's great to give that out to the younger generation, because when Liz and I were growing up as young skaters, we were kind of too afraid to go ask the older skaters, you know, well, what can we expect? But we're very nurturing, and we offer this advice to all the younger skaters, and enjoy giving it to them. A lot of people regard Liz and I as the most normal skating couple.
Can't say that. The mom and pop.
The mom and pop couple of skating, because we're married and we have all these aspirations that a lot of non-skaters have.
Hey, I tell you, we're in this love together. We got the kind that lasts forever and ever.
We do spend a lot of time together, and it is a challenge for us, but I think we can realize that it's not going to last forever, and this is sort of a special time in our lives.
A lot of people say, well, gosh, you don't fight that often, but we have normal arguments with one another.
There's definitely a fine line between pushing each other to become better and pushing too hard so that you're overly critical of each other, and that's a fine balance, and I think that's the key really to how we work together and how we've become successful. You really have to hone in on that and know when to push and when to lay back. I think our strength lies in the energy that we use to put out our programs. And it may not always be clean. Our lines may not always be perfectly matched in unison or that type of thing, but I think we try to use the energy that we create with each other to make it more dynamic.
So if we can leave the sport with people saying, wow, you know, they really had a positive impact on this discipline in this country, weren't they wonderful? That would be worth medals to Liz and I.
And when we look at each other, we know that we wouldn't have been able to do it, you know, if we weren't together.
For anxious young skaters like Jamie Silverstein and Justin Pekarek, natural talent and the magic of teamwork is their ticket to reaching their dreams at the top of the skating world.
This is one of our first years really competing very high at the international level. But for us, we set really, really high goals. So we always have something to look for, and we can always do this better and stuff. And we do a regimen of particular run-throughs of all our compulsories and OD and free dance. And I don't know, we really get picky and stuff because we just want to be the best we can be.
It gets rather tense before competition.
Yeah.
But there's lots of, you know, practices, cool down, and
rewards.
Just, yeah, rewards from the competition.
There was a point in time where I would think about the judges and stuff, and that always got me really worked up and nervous. And then someone gave me some really good advice, and they said, don't care about the 9 people watching you skate for yourself. And that's been probably the best advice I've ever had, and it's really helped me because if I can give a little myself to the people and like have them react, it's just a thrill for me.
You're out there to do your best, your personal best, and you can't do anything beyond that.
Sometimes it's hard because I've had to miss a lot of like social events, kind of, but I think the rewards are just so great that, I mean, I can't give up my dream to like be a Girl Scout or something like that.
Yeah. So. I think life would be boring without all this. I look at some of my friends, you know, and go to school, go to the football game, come home, do your homework. I mean, it's just, I mean, like, what do you do all day? It's boring. Because sometimes when, say, Jamie's sick and I stay home from skating, I do nothing all day. And it's just, I want to go to the rink. And I'm like, why do I want to go to the rink? Because I'm there, you know, all the time. But, I mean, I like it. I like the life.
School starts at 7:30, and we come here around noon, and we skate till about 4-ish, and we do off-ice conditioning and ballet.
This year, it's 3rd year they're skating together. And they got second in the Junior World selection, and they're going to go to Junior World in the end of this month. And they compete already in 2 international competitions of the Junior Grand Prix Series, and they did very well. They're going to qualify for the final, which is going to be handled in Switzerland. So they was doing very, very successful this year.
Our coach helps us out a lot. I mean, he's been one of the best, I think he's one of the best coaches for dance, at least.
I think that there's a real chemistry between us that Igor will look for when there's tryouts with one of his teams. And you have to have that chemistry, and you know right away if you have it. And if you do, it's just wonderful.
When you do this inside edges, you gotta shake your hand a little bit more. It's really the personality who can make the difference. Jamie, I feel she got great feel for the music and for the dance, and she really feel the music and can express it. And Justin very hardworking, and give her the very good support, and they kind of complement one each other during the dance and during the work, which is I can see a lot of potential in it.
A lot of people say like I'm really flamboyant because I look younger, so I guess they don't expect as much. And I don't know, I just think that we're a really good match because we feel each other when we're skating together and we trust each other.
We have a good friendly relationship on and off the ice.
He's like a brother to me because I can tell him anything. I trust him completely, which is very important. And I mean, we go out sometimes, but it's just like he's my brother. And I have 3 of them, and they're all very special to me, and so is him.
I guess I'd be the 4th. I think we've both matured a lot in the past year due to the higher level of skating in the junior. We've learned, I mean, about life, and we've set our goals for the future, and now we know what we want, I suppose.
I think that I've learned a lot about my personality and how I act under pressure, and hopefully I'll be able to use it in the future. And I've learned a lot from my colleagues and the older skaters that we look up to, because you see them handle themselves, and it's something that you want to be like on and off the ice.
We see a lot of ourselves in all the teams that we train with on a day-to-day basis, but Jamie and Justin are very special because they've gotten together at such a young age and they have so much potential. They're just a joy to watch and train with and see them grow up in the sport.
I think they are just so brilliant because every time you watch them, you see something different that you love, and it's like, I hope I can do that. Because for me, they're what I want to be when we get up to that level, because they're really impacting the dance world in the United States and everywhere.
I think all of Igor's teams, well, not all of them, but most of them look up to them, and I mean, to see them as the #1, and you want to be like them, and it's just something to work for.
If we work like we're working now and we stay focused, then we can achieve anything.
Fox 2's Holiday on Ice continues after this.
Now, many of you know Tara Lipinski is one of the biggest and brightest stars in the international skating circuit. What you might not know is she first hit the ice at the age of 3, and well, she's 15 now, and the skates are bigger, the stakes are definitely bigger, and we have a closer look at this great, great champion.
At a mere 4 feet 9 inches and 79 pounds, she's taken the figure skating world by storm. The wake-up call came early in the year when Tara Lipinski, at age 14, became the youngest world and U.S. women's champion in sports history.
That's great to have a record like that.
Heart, don't fail me now. Courage, don't desert me.
I think this year I've improved a lot on, my presentation and my second mark, and I think I've really grown since last year. I mean, I still feel the same way about skating. I still love it as much, but I think this year I'm really expressing it to the audience and not just to myself.
Now 15 years old, Tara trains relentlessly to keep her title.
I can do a jump, and it's easy. I can do a part of the program with the presentation, and that's easy, but putting it all together and training it every day is the hardest part.
To the
I come here around 8 o'clock and I warm up for about an hour. I get on the ice around 9 and I work with my coach for, 45 minutes. And I stay on the ice for like 2 hours in the morning. And then I have an hour with my ballet coach on the ice, Marina. And we work on choreography and presentation. And then I get off and I have like a 2-hour lunch break where I just, talk with my friends, have lunch, relax, and go back out for another 2 hours. And then I'm done skating. I come home around 3. And from 3 to 7, I have school.
People always say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions fear.
I mean, it's hard during the week because you're training and doing school and you don't have a lot of time for anything. But, on the weekends, that's my time off. And, I go out with a friend, go to the mall, go to the movies, do normal things, And by Monday, okay, this is what I have to do if I want to, be considered going to the Olympics, and this is what I have to do for myself.
She already has done a lot by being the youngest world champion ever. Sonny Henny having that record for X number of years, and this 14-year-old American comes and replaces that record. That's awesome. So that name will be around forever. And I think she pushes the envelope for increased technical difficulty.
With the help of her coach, Richard Callahan, Tara's jumps are becoming her trademark. At Nationals last year, her triple loop combination was the first ever performed in the ladies' competition.
I work very hard on my jumps, and when I'm out there, I really am paying attention to everything I'm doing and making sure every day I'm working hard on everything. But I think it's kind of nice to be known as a great jumper.
Tara, I've only taught for 2 years, so it is different. She came to me with most of her jumps. I really tried to modify some of the technique and probably just increase her speed and aggression.
With Mr. Callahan, we just, thought the same things about our training and how our goals would be set. When we go out, we have the same goals, and we're both ready to do what we have to do, and he pushes me a lot, to keep going and work on new things.
One step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go? Back to who I was, on to find my future, things my heart still needs to know.
I think that's the best part of our coaching, he makes me want to do more every day. When you're out there and say it's not going so well and you look over and you look at him and you're like, okay, I can keep going and everything's going to be okay, and I will do everything.
Somewhere down this road, I know someone's waiting. Years of dreams just can't be wrong. Arms will open wide, I'll be safe and wanted, finally home where I belong. Well, starting now, I'm learning fast on this journey to the
I want them always to be prepared. I want them to be trained. I really deal with a lot of repetition, so there's a lot of muscle memory when they come to an event.
With Tara's success comes the burden of expectations. It's a fierce rivalry between she and Michelle Kwan, which last ended with Kwan victorious.
I think this is a perfect position for me to fight for it and not defend it, and just work my way up the way I did last year. So, by Olympics, I'm at that point where I step on the ice and say, I know I'm going to do this.
one step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go?
When I go out there, I'm going to think only of myself, but it will be a great, competition, I think, with all the girls there, and Michelle and Vanessa and, everyone that's coming. This is Olympic year, so everyone's going to be training their hardest.
For Tara, the Olympics are what it's all about, a chance to become the 7th American female to win a gold medal.
My biggest dream was always going to the Olympics and even better, winning. So that's what I'm going to try to do and work hard for it. When I go to nationals, that's all I'm thinking about, not about winning, defending my title. It's just making top 3 and going to the Olympics.
One step at a time, one hope then another. Who knows where this road may go?
She's, a little fireball out there. She wants to go out and she wants to do you know, everything exactly right all the time. And you know, that's good and bad sometimes, but you know, I mean, she's really driven and really motivated to, you know, try and do her best all the time.
I love having Todd watch my competition and be there before I go out. He makes me a little calmer and keeps you like, okay, he's gonna have to do the same thing tonight.
A couple of years that she's been training here with me, I mean, she's a great skater. You know, she's got an amazing talent for jumping and for everything. I mean, her skating is fantastic. You know, the one thing that really I think stands out with her is her work ethic. She works really hard, and she's so determined.
Right now, I mean, it seems like a lot, but once you do it, it's not too bad. And, you know, I wouldn't want to trade it in because I like it. And it's definitely not normal, but I think it's something a little extra, not something a little less.
Back to who I was, on to find my future, things my heart still needs to know. Yes, let this be a sign, let this road be mine, let it lead me to my past and bring me home at
Well, there's a bridge and there's a river that I still must cross as I'm going on my journey. Though I might be lost, and there's a road I have to follow, a place I have to go. Well, no one told me just how to get there, but when I get there, I know, 'cause I'm taking it step by step.
Erin Pearl is one of today's most promising young skaters who takes it step by step, using her personality and charm in her quest to be the best.
I get here around 8:30 and I warm up for the 9:15. Then I stay on the ice for 45 minutes. Then there's an ice make at 10 o'clock. And then I come back on at 10:10 in C rank. And I do 45 minutes again until 10:55. And then I have a couple hours until I do another session at 1 o'clock. And then I do a session at 1:55. And then 3 days a week I get tutored at Cranbrook. And then the other couple of days I just, you know, do my schoolwork. I have friends back at school in Maine who send me letters, you know, I'm doing soccer and everything and it's going well. And it's a little different because socially it's different, but, you know, if I'm getting all my school done tutoring-wise, then it's okay.
Step by step, day by day, blah, blah, blah.
Mostly you want to focus on your programs, and I really focus on going through the program before I compete, you know, doing clean programs, just thinking about that. And I try not to think about, you know, what the other skaters are doing. I just want to go out and, you know, do what I normally do.
Don't give up. You've got to hold on to what you've got. Oh, baby. Don't give up. You've got to keep on moving. Don't stop. Yeah.
I really like jumping a lot. That's technical. I love doing that. And I like doing artistic things too. I like skating fast. It's really fun, speed. It feels good and everything. They always tell me when we're working on new jumps to slow down a little bit because I get carried away. But last year was my first year in the junior level, and there's three competitive parts to it. Actually, you have to qualify. You first go through regionals, and then if you place top 4 there, then you go on to sectionals. And then if you place the top 4 there, then you go to nationals, which is the whole United States. And last year I placed first at regionals and first at sectionals, and then I went to nationals and I placed second overall.
Step by step, oh, oh, oh.
This year I'm going to stay at the junior level again, actually because of my back injury. I had a stress fracture last year. So hopefully this year I'll be able to, you know, come back a little stronger maybe. It was funny because during the practices it really hurt, but when I started competing with all the adrenaline and everything, it kind of left. So I guess just thinking and focusing so much.
I'm taking it step by step. Stone by stone, yeah. Stone by stone, brick by brick.
I feel like a lot of all the professional skaters and amateur skaters, because each one of them has a different, you know, a good quality about them. Like Todd with his jumps and artistic wise, and Tara with her jumps, and then I'm not really there yet. I love watching them, you know, they're great. And that's my goal, to try to, you know, get as many triples as them, or just try to be up there. I don't know, I usually just take it year by year, and I'll see what will happen. If I continue having fun, maybe just next year moving up to senior level, trying to make it to nationals, adding a couple triples, I don't know. So I just look at it year by year and just make sure that I continue to have fun.
My spirit felt me. I won't let my spirit go until I get to my destination. I'm gonna take it slow because I'm making it up. Step by step. You know I'm taking that. Bit by bit. Bit by bit. Now move. Stone by stone. Yeah. Brick by brick. Brick by brick by brick.
Fox 2's Holiday on Ice continues after this.
Well, that's going to do it for our look at Michigan's international champions. Coming up next, Fox Skate International Competition. For Holiday on Ice, I'm Dan Miller. Good night, everybody.
Fox 2's Holiday on Ice has been brought to you by ABC Warehouse, the closest thing to wholesale. By Art Band, we do more for you. By English Gardens, a different reason for every season. By the Fox Theater, see the Radio City Christmas Spectacular starring the Rockettes. And by the Cook Champagne, Todd Eldredge and Friends, performing December 8th at the Palace.